My great-great-grandfather was a copper miner up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. His name, I believe, was Calise Neveu. But in the great American tradition of butchering our grandparents' names, my family says his name is Calix Nevi. And I don't know a great deal about Calise, but his daughter, my great-grandmother, Anna, passes down one story. See, he was a copper miner, and so he worked for 12 hours a day. And then he came home and took care of his 5 children, whom he had sole care for because his wife had passed on, I believe, in the birth of the 5th child. So he'd work taking care of the children, and then he would sit down in his rocking chair and pray his rosary in French. And this is the image that my great-grandmother Anna had of her father. There he was, every single night, praying his rosary in French. Now, I don't know a great deal about Calise. I presume he was a good man. I presume he worked really hard. I presume a lot of things about him. I presume he had a sense of humor. If he was an Ashmore, it was a probably terrible sense of humor. But I presume he had one. But I know one thing about him. I know that he prayed his rosary every single night. Today we celebrate the Feast of the Holy Family. The Feast of the Holy Family is a gift to us from the Church in order to think about how important the family is within Christian life. Jesus came to us as a member of a family. That's no accident. Sometimes we look at the things in the gospel or in Jesus' life, and we see them as just happen chance. Oh, well, of course Jesus would have a family. That just makes sense. No, that was a decision by Christ. There's nothing that was accidental. He chose to enter into the world as part of a family. He could have popped up out of the ground like a tree. He could have come down from on high upon a chariot of fire. He could have done all those things. But he chose to enter the world as a son of a mother and a father. And this shows us that the family is something precious to God. It's a gift to mankind. It's something defined by God. We can't redefine it. It is what it is. And what does the Church say the family is? Well, she uses a precious word. She says the family is the domestic church, the church of the home. It is the first place where children learn what it means to love God. It's the first place that the children learn about God, about his sacraments, about salvation history. This is what the family is meant to be, a little church, the domestic church. And in an even greater way, the family is meant to be the first moment of evangelization for the children. In our day and age, we often see children leaving the faith once they grow old enough to leave the household. And so I want to put forward this question to all of us here. When we know that the faith is under attack in our children's lives, are we evangelizing our children? It's not enough to merely bring your children to church on Sunday. It's not enough to send them to Catholic schools. Both those things are obviously really good. I love Mass. I want you here. And Catholic education is a great gift. I'm a huge supporter of it. But if that's all we're doing, then we're not doing enough. Parents are the first evangelizers of their children. Do you evangelize your children? Do you tell them the difference that Jesus makes in your life? Do you tell them about the times when our Lord intervened? Do you show them a witness of prayerful faith? How often do your children see you praying? I think it's so powerful that the one image of Calise that comes down to me and my family is that he was a man of prayer. How incredible would that be for your children if that's what they remember about you? That could be something powerful in their life. That even if they stray from the faith for a little while, they always remember, Mom, or Dad, were men and women of prayer. And that prayer had a huge impact on them. Maybe I should pray too. That image is powerful. What is the best way to evangelize your children? I believe the best way is to pray with them, for them, away from them. Let them see you praying. Let them see you have a relationship with God. Because if they see that relationship, and it's something tangible in your life, just like they want to imitate everything else you do as little kids, one day they'll want to imitate that as well. So today we celebrate the Feast of the Holy Family, and we think about the fact that the family is the first place, the locus of evangelization. I pray that all of us can be remembered like Khalees. All of us can be remembered as men and women of prayer, so that our children can look upon our lives and say, there's the first witness I met of a true disciple of Jesus, and I want to be just like them.